please keep it down in here?
Sure.
Thanks.
If you've got tube amps, you've likely experienced something similar to that. It's just hard when you have a family, when you have neighbors. Tube amps need to be driven, and it's just hard to do it at any kind of a reasonable volume. So over the years, I've switched to actually using a Helix, and I have some UA pedals as well that work really. They're just great, the modeling and profiling things. But I have some tube amps, and I wanted to see if I could make them work without having to buy like a reactive load box. And so the one solution that was kind of cost effective was to make an ISO cabinet and just be able to make it where I can put a speaker in it and see if it will help with the sound. So that's what I did. I think it turned out well, but let me show you the cabinet and let me know what you think. All right, so this is the ISO cab. It has just been basically assembled, and our isolation box, and covered it in kind of like a Tolex material, sort of an oilcloth, and put these latches on it to help seal it. And so this is going to hold an EV ProLine 12 inside there. I'm going to put the sound insulation 703 inside there. And so we'll go ahead and put it in its place. And then get the insulation in. Okay, let's wheel it in. First go around, I actually made this a little bit too tight, so I had to actually disassemble it and cut it down. But now it actually fits. Thank the Lord for that. And I'm going to put a little bit of foam in between these just to keep any sympathetic vibration from occurring between the walls in here. And so now, when I need to make adjustments or anything like that, I can reach in, and I have a hole down here in the bottom, and that's where the mic cable and speaker cable are going to come in, and then we can have the box sealed, so I'll have some insulation and everything in there. We'll see how it goes. So the cabinet's in place, and what I did is I made this hole down at the bottom where I can run in the mic cables. And then to keep the speaker cabinet is going to lay on its back, and that's where the power or the speaker line comes in from the amp. So I have to elevate it off the back. So I kind of came up with this system, which I think will work. So. And then I have these rubber bumpers. They're just like cabinet bumpers, basically. Putting those on. And this will help reduce any vibration that's going to come in the next piece. So what I've done is I just have a small piece of plywood. It's going to sit on this to give it some rigidity. This will sit there to help reduce any vibration, and then, as I mentioned, has to be off of the back so the speaker cabinet, the speaker jack doesn't get damaged. So we'll use this off the back. Okay, good. It actually worked out a little bit better than I was expecting. Before it was pretty tight, so it was really hard to get in there. But now, so we're going to put the plywood back in. Make sure those rubber bumpers are still in place. Okay. All right, that's in. So this is the cabinet. I had to kind of rig this system up, so it took a little bit to get that, but thank the Lord I was able to find a bunch of random pieces, and so I think it works. And I have a fishing line that I just basically wrapped around these upper baffles, but they're really tightly, it's a real tight compression fit up there, so that's really all that's holding all this stuff together, is just the fact that it's tight. And so I put this fishing line just to help hold the cables up so they weren't dangling or anything. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the 703 sound insulation in the front, close the door. I just put a loop track on with the volume that I typically would play at with the Suhr Badger. So right now, with just me talking, it occasionally hits, I don't know if you can see the dB meter on the iPad, nothing crazy, but just an app that's on there. Goes up to about 68 was me talking. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this looper pedal on, and then we'll see where it goes with the door closed and the sound insulation on. Seems to be riding right around low 80s. When I would put it here with the door open, it hit about 100. So I'd say it does a good job. So before we listen to tone samples, just keep in mind that the Helix does not have a Suhr Badger amp model in it. So I'm using a Marshall JMP45 with an OwnHammer 12L impulse response. So it should give us the same flavor as the Suhr with the EV Pro line. So overall, I was really happy with the ISO cab. I think it held its own against the Helix and didn't have the boxy sound that I was kind of concerned about. But let me know what you think, and if this is a solution you would pursue or maybe even build one. Love to hear your comments. How did it compare to the Helix? And please like and subscribe. Thank you, and I hope this inspires you to make some music.